Hello and welcome back to my series on keyboard integration. In the last video we introduced a new code that seems to work out pretty well, and I was able to multiplex it in that same video, and now we have it all hooked up where it's multiplexing the keypads pressed on these two, and then it increments the counter as you enter 2 digits. So it's kind of like an addressing. This is like the address, and you enter data and it shows which address space you're going into, just in theory. Anyhow, I've made a few changes to make this counting a little simpler for us. I've set, what is this? This is R3, this is R4, or 7-segment display number 4 and 5. I set those only to, they're on a short table, so it only counts from 0, then it jumps to E and F and back to 0, and the same with this. It starts at 0, goes to E and then F, and then it will increment this counter normally, and this counter, or this one, also counts normally too. So let's take a quick look at that. You can see it's incrementing correctly as we enter 2 digits. A, B, C, E, and then F. And one more. And that incremented to E. And it's only because I didn't want to have to count 6,000, or what is it, 6,500, 535 times to, see if it's all incrementing correctly. I wanted a shortcut to get up here to the higher digits. So as I go along, so it goes to F, and then it'll finally increment the next 7-segment display to E. And then we start all over again. And it goes on to F. Go back to E. And then one more, and we're incrementing the last digit as well. Okay, so this all is working perfectly now. Let's take a quick look at the code. Okay, this is the final code I was able to come up with. So let's go through it real quick. ORG 100 means I'm going to start the program at 100. Or memory address 100, because I wanted to free up a few memory spaces to store some data in down here. R0, as was in the last video, is used to determine whether we're entering a first key or a second key. And R1 through R6 here are all set to 40H, which is a hexadecimal code for a 0. So we're putting 0 in all 6 7-segment displays. Now we got memory address 53, 54, 55, and 56 all set to 0 FFH. I'm using each one of these as a counter because the last 4 7-segment displays are basically just going to be incrementing, like memory addresses. So I start at 0FF because it actually increments to 0 before we save that, information out. So we start at 0FF and then it gets incremented to 0. Anyhow, the multiplexing section of this code is pretty straightforward. This right here, move 60, 10H, is basically, this is just a memory address 60, and we're loading 10H in there, and we're just repeating this section like 15 times real quick. So let's just start multiplexing. You've seen this all, or you've seen at least these two, I believe. Multi-1, all we're doing is we're clearing everything on P2 and we set 1 bit at a time high. In this case, it's P20 gets set high, and then we place R1 out on our output port P0. And the rest is pretty much the same as that. Set P2, everything low, and set just bit P2.1 high, and we'll put R2 out on our output port P0. And multi-3, again, set P2 all low, set P2.2 high, and put R3 out on our output port P0. Call a delay and do the same thing for the rest of these multiplex 7-segment displays. Now we're going to skip over the keypad scanning portion, which we've already gone over in the last video, and get down here to the match section where all the real action is taking place. I've already probably gone over match and match 2. However, we're going to go over those and the rest of those now. The first command here is decrement, jump if not 0, R0. Well, R0 is a 1 before it decrements, so it's not going to jump to this match 2 yet until after it decrements. We're going to clear A, and we're going to, depending on our find, which incremented the data pointer, we're going to store that data pointer or that code that the data pointer is pointing to into A. So the first key pressed is now into A, or the code for the first key pressed is now into A, and then we're going to put that A into R1 to be displayed up at multi-1. We're going to put a hashtag 40H, a hex 40H into R2, which is the code for 0. So every time we press the first key of a 2-digit input, the first one is going to always show the second 7-segment display as being a 0. That way we know when we're pressing the first key. Call a delay, jump back to the beginning. The next time down, R0 is now 0, so it's going to jump to match 2 because it. And on match 2, we're going to move that first key that was originally pressed from R1 back into A, and then from A into R2. So now that first digit that was originally pressed up here is now into R2. And now we're going to get the information for R1. We're going to clear A again. The data pointer has been incremented during the find subroutine to point to the correct code for the key that was pressed, and now we're going to store that back into R1. So now we have the R2 and R1 both have the correct data in it, and we're going to move 01 back into R0 so that it'll go back to the first key pressed on the next, when the next key is pressed. Call a delay. Now when the second key is pressed, that's when we're going to want to start incrementing match 3. So the first thing we do here is we're moving the data pointer to another table, which is K code 4. you look at K code 4 down here, it's a full table. It means it starts at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, A, B, C, D, E, F, and then back to 0. So it's a full table. So every time we press the second key, match 3 is going to increment the third 7-segment display. So we're pointing to the right table. We clear A. Now we're taking the contents of 53H and storing that in A. If you recall up at the top, 53H is starts off with a 0FFH in it. So that 0FFH has been moved into A, and then it gets incremented up to 0. Then we take that 0 from A and put it back into 53H. And we use that as our data pointer to point to the very first number in the K code 4 table, which is 79, which is the hex code for a number 1. So we got the number 1, and we store that in A, or we move that over to R3 to be displayed on multi-3. Now we compare and jump if not equal A to 40. Well, 40 is the last code of this table. So if we're not at the last code of the table, it's going to jump back up to the top. It's going to do a first key. It's going to do a second key. Then it's going to come down here again and move that 53H back into A, which is now a 0, 0, and then it's going to increment that A to 51 or to 0, 1. Now we're going to be pointing at the second data pointer, so a number 2 is now going to get stored into R3. Again, we're going to look to see if 40 is there. If it's not, we're going to go back up to match 1, put in the first key, then we're going to put in the first and the second key, and it's going to increment 53H again, so that the data pointer is now pointing to the third character in that K code 4 table, and it's just going to keep doing this until it finally gets to 40, the last one. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, A, B, C, D, E, F, and then finally when it hits to 40, it's going to put a 0 in multi-3, and it's going to move, it's going to drop down here to match 4. Now in match 4, we're using K code 5, which is a short table. You can see it right here, which is only E, F, and 0. And we did that so that, you know, I could basically increment all the counters without having to press make two keystrokes up to 4,000 times just to increment the 6 7-segment display. So this is on a short table that's going to start at E. So we drop down here and we first set this table to be the table we're going to use for match 4. We clear A. Now we're taking 54H, which again is starts at 0FFH. We're going to move that into A and then increment it, and now it's going to be a 0, and we're going to put that 0 back into 54H, and that's going to be our data pointer is 0, so it's going to go to the first code, which in K code 5 is actually an E. And then we're going to store that E, take that A, and store that into R4 to be displayed up at the top of the program during the multi-4 part of our program. It's also going to reset 53H back to 0FF. So that this one can start incremented again, 1 through F and then back to 0 before this one gets incremented one more time. And this one's only going to increment basically 3 times before it before it falls through that 40, jump or compare, jump if not equal to 40. When it is equal to 40, it's going to come on down here and increment this one. Again, this is using K code 5 as well. So it's going to increment this one. It's going to clear A, move the contents of 55H into A, which of course is a 0FF, increment that to 0, and move that 0 back into 55H, which is now our data pointer. So the first character in K code 5 is an E, and that E is going to be placed in R5 to be displayed during multi-5. We're going to reset the counter up here at match 4 because it already went through an E and an F, and that's back to 0. So it's going to reset this counter, and this is going to do the same thing. It's going to count. It's going to increment every time from E to F and then back to 0. And once it hits 0, it's going to drop down here to match 6, where we're back to using the full table, the K code 4 table down here. So it's going to clear A and take 56H and move that into A again. 0FF is moved into A, and then it's incremented to 0 and stored back into 56H. And that's our data pointer, the first code of the K code 4 table, which in this case is 79H, which is our 7-segment code for the number 1. And we're going to store that into R6 to be displayed during the multiplexing, multi-6 section of our code at the top of the table. Now it's going to reset 55H back to 00H so it can start counting all over again. And this one would just keep going. It would go from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 all the way to F, and then finally get to 0 where we tell it to reset the counter for 56H as well. And that's pretty much it. That's everything. Hopefully you learned something, and maybe if you have a better way of doing this, you can share that with me. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for watching.